This is the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. A prominent politician in Curaçao's coalition government was fatally shot Sunday, May 5th on a public beach in broad daylight, sending shockwaves across the small Dutch Caribbean island off the Venezuelan coast. Prime Minister Daniel Hodge said Parliament member Helmin Wells was hit with 5 bullets at Marie Pompion Beach, a popular spot for eating and swimming. Wells was the fiery leader of the Sovereign People political party, which advocates for Curaçao's independence. Curacao is a mostly autonomous constituent country of the Netherlands. Wells' pro-independence party led voting in October general elections but holds only 5 of 21 seats in Parliament. Justice Minister Nelson Navarro said Wells had received threats and typically had security throughout the week. He did not disclose details of the threats against Wells, who had a divisive image on the island. Navarro said security would be increased for all of Curaçao's elected officials. Petrocaribe member states agreed to the creation of a new economic zone and granted membership to 2 more countries, Honduras and Guatemala, at the 7th summit that ended in Caracas, Venezuela on Sunday, May 5th. Venezuela created Petrocaribe in 2005 to sell fuel to Latin American and Caribbean nations on a preferential payment basis. The creation of a common economic zone is seen as an achievement for regional integration, as well as a platform for energy security for the 18 member countries. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said the planned economic zone for Petrocaribe member states and other regional blocs is designed to boost regional development by promoting joint investments in trade, tourism, industry, agribusiness, and science. Speaking at the start of the meeting, Maduro said regional alliances such as Petrocaribe are growing stronger despite attempts by the international right wing to sow division among Latin American countries. Petrocaribe now consists of Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Belize, Cuba, Dominica, El Salvador, Grenada, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, Jamaica, Nicaragua, the Dominican Republic, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Venezuela. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, in its World Economic Outlook predicts that Guyana is expected to see the second highest economic growth for South America in 2014, just behind Peru. Guyana's Finance Minister, Dr. Ashley Singh, in his 2013 National Budget presentation, had stated that Guyana's government will continue to be guided by the 7 prerequisites outlined last year, namely a strong democracy, reliable and efficient institutions of state, long-term macroeconomic stability, economic diversification and growth, expanded physical infrastructure, high-quality social services, and environmental responsibility and sustainability. The IMF said Peru is forecast to have the highest economic growth of 6.1% and the lowest inflation in South America in 2014, followed by Guyana at 6%, Bolivia at 5%, Chile and Paraguay at the same rate of 4%, Colombia and Suriname each pegged at 4.5%, and Brazil and Uruguay at the same level of 4%. The World Economic Outlook is a survey published twice and partly updated 3 times a year by the IMF. St. Lucia was jolted by a 4.1 magnitude earthquake on Tuesday, May 7. According to the Trinidad-based Seismic Research Center of the University of the West Indies, the quake occurred around 11:45 p.m. The UWI said the quake, with a depth of 20 kilometers, may have been felt in nearby islands, but there have been no reports of injury or damage. The earthquake is the latest in a series of tremors that have occurred in several Caribbean countries in recent months. Earlier this month, Trinidad and Tobago was shaken by a 3.7 magnitude quake, just as the Seismic Research Center officials warned the oil-rich Twin Island country to be prepared for a major earthquake. Late last month, Antigua and Barbuda and several other Caribbean countries in the Leeward Islands were also affected by a 5.1 magnitude earthquake. USVI jockey Kevin Krieger on Saturday made history as the only first black jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby since 1902. The relatively unknown jockey rode Golden Sense to a 17th place finish for trainer Doug O'Neill, who won last year. The 29-year-old Krieger hails from St. Croix USVI and had some success on the smaller Northern California circuit before trying his luck in the big leagues of Los Angeles. He was Jockey of the Year at Emerald Downs in 2005. Krieger's hope of a win in the Kentucky Derby ended in disappointment at the 139th running of the Kentucky Derby at Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky on May 4. The Derby was won by Orb, who was ridden by fellow Caribbean national Joel Rosario. For the JTV Caribbean News, I am Sean Rose.
Coming up next on JTV News. 103-year-old BVI Gem talks to JTV News about his secret to longevity. And Miss BVI reigns as Caribbean World Queen.
Protector, provider, and the head of my king domain.